Welcome, welcome everyone who is ready to beat burnout and choosing between that. Let us know if that is you. Super excited to have you here. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hey, welcome, everybody. Welcome to Breaking Boundaries podcast. Choosing, yes, this route, which is basically what I would love to share with you. I was burnout, and really what the sole purpose, what I'm looking to gather is choose your aisle in overcoming petty distractions and elite challenges. Welcome back, everybody. Really excited. Go ahead. You know what the drill is. Go ahead and click like and share and subscribe if you're first time joining. And if this is your first time coming here, I'm going to definitely be diving in so deep. It's going to be so good. We are now embarking in a whole new month. And what really holds us back at times in our professional journeys is so much not getting prepared and basically always being distracted by pettiness. Yes, I said it. And you might have thought of it. So let's go ahead and get started today. I am Ruth McCrackin, your host. We're keeping it real with a topic that hits close to home for many of you all, especially you all professionals, executives, leaders, seasoned professionals. The daily choice between petty distractions and elite challenges. Who's ready? Who's ready to go ahead and give yourself grace, give yourself the opportunity to quiet the noise in the background and fully focus on what I have to break with you today. It's going to be so good. It's really going to blow your mind, my friend. And stay tuned at the end because I do have a sneak preview on what I'm going to go over with you. That's going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, actually three towards the end of the month here. But enough for that. Whether, by the way, whether you're basically navigating office politics, dealing with burnout, if you will, or overcoming, yes, self sabotage. Let me know if you are ready to eliminate some of these barriers, some of these limitations that we put on ourselves. Every day presents a new aisle for us to choose from. The question you want to ask yourself is which aisle you're going to want to explore. So let's explore how to consistently pick the path that leads you, yes, to growth and success, whether it be in your business, whether it be in your position as a leader, or perhaps if you're a consultant. My whole goal here with you and my promise to you today is you're going to walk away with the 5 tips that we're going to talk about today. So today's topic, it hits home. I know it does. Let me know by hitting some fires, letting me know in the comments. We live in a very fast paced society, number one. Your professional, we in a professional world, whether it be life or just in your professionalism, it's easy to get caught up, yes, in the petty aisle. You know what? Dollar Tree, for those who like to get little knickknacks, and trust me, don't sleep on Dollar Tree, everyone. Dollar Tree had an opportunity to tell. I was talking to the cashier, and I told her, man, Dollar Tree might need to change their name because they're no longer serving as dollar anymore. It's now $1.25. So fast forward, she said, yes, that is something that the corporate has been overviewing, discussing, and they're thinking maybe calling it dollar and beyond or dollar something, still going to have the dollar brand, but they're still trying to figure out how to brand it. It may already come to pass already. This had been like a few weeks ago. And so fast forward, she said, but by the way, we do have it where we consider this to be the special aisle, where basically they have their $1.25 in the overall main aisles. And but however, there's two distinguished aisles. Did you all know this? Have you all maybe noticed this? Where they have it, they call it the grand value aisle. I'm going somewhere this, I promise you, where you get to get the brands that actually sit there. And I'm not saying that they don't have any other brands other than the Dollar Tree brands or vendors that they partner with, but in these two particular aisles, they have like your Gain, your Tide, and it's a lot costlier than your $1.25. So in other words, it'll be anywhere between $3 to $5. And It's pretty much standard as though you were going to the other maybe Sam's Club or Walmart or any other stores of your choice. So, why do you think they have a distinguished branded aisle? Because they're looking to what? Target and no longer be distracted by just having themselves looked upon just having the general items, but now they want to be tailoring and customizing and dialing in on just making sure they can draw more of the other folks who can see their value, that they are partnering with other brands that of your choice that you may really like. And so that then put something in my ear as to, how many of the people that I talk to, because I talk to thousands of top performers and partner with leaders and executives, as to how do we retain these, high top talent leaders without, unfortunately, losing them to our peers or competition. We'll say less. As I mentioned before, I want you to be able to walk away with removing some of the barriers, removing some of the limitations, and removing yourself from the petty aisle, and meaning the low hanging fruit aisle, and start challenge yourself. Start giving yourself the grace on removing the petty aisle, those small nagging issues is what I'm getting at. That sap out your energy. It just saps it. You ever see those uh those different episodes where, which one I'm talking about, with Cops. That's the word I was looking for. Back in the 90s, Cops was huge for me as an adolescent. We would watch it, and Bad Boys, Bad Boys. Anyway, and so my point is, they had a zapper, they had tasers, and then they also, I think they had their own unique devices. And so some of you all are letting the petty owl be your taser. It just keeps nagging you on different issues, whether it be your employees who are not on the same wavelength with you, or perhaps you don't even care. You don't have the desire to sit there and really understand, hey, what's going on? I see that you've been out of your being your normal day-to-day self. Is there something maybe I can help support you on, or kind of share with me what's really going on? Is this an area that you are open and comfortable with? I just want to let you know my doors are open. Let's have a heart-to-heart conversation. So my point is, on the flip side, that would be more on the elite side, right? But in this case, if you're on the petty hour or the nagging, your mindset has to shift as the individual, as that leader. So you don't perceive or pretty much project that your employees or your staff or your team members are not on the same page with you. And why is that? Maybe there's something in you that you're needing to sharpen up a little bit, right? So on the flip side, that's why I want to help expand on elite aisle. What does that mean? Like, where are you going with this, Ruth? Well, I'm glad you asked. The elite aisle represents those high stakes, those challenges, things that you want to thrive, even though you may be a little bit uncomfortable because it may be out of your comfort zone. Yes. However, this will help prepare your career moving it forward, your business, by being more strategic, by being more open to challenges. I'll share strategies to help you identify and overcome the pitfalls, yes, and of the pitfalls of the petty owl, that is, because I know you all are ready to just brush it off and move on and move forward, and how to embrace the growth opportunities in the elite aisle. Oh, this is going to be so good. Grab your pen and paper, grab your devices, because I definitely want you to tune in. And you want to go ahead and go back to the part one where I talk about this even in more depth, because it's going to kind of move in to what we're talking about today, what I'm going to be sharing with you all. So meanwhile, I know I want to share with you a particular story, as I'm going to be broadcasting on live streaming here on multiple platforms. At the early part of the year here, we had certain goals, but let me take you back to a turning point in my own career, right? I found myself basically at a crossroads between engaging at petty office dramas that left me burnout, and stepped up to lead a high profile project in HR technology that nobody wanted to touch. How many of you all been given projects that it was like, oh, go ahead and give it to Sandy. She's more better at it, or she's better, she's more equipped for it, or give it to James. I think he's your go-to person. Just piling it out, knowing that you've already pretty much spread yourself thin. I myself this was a particular classic case for me, and I'm sure you can see this as well. Go ahead and put it on me. I don't care. I'll go ahead and take it full throttle, knowing that's going to be hence pulling you from your kids, perhaps, or maybe you making you having to stay a couple of hours later at in the workspace, or whether it be working remotely. It doesn't matter. I choose the latter because at the time, if I'm going to continue saying yes, after one or two of those coming on my plate, I say, hold up. When am I going to leverage my voice and set the tone and be more present? And number two, being able to set boundaries. Is that something that you looking to do today as well, my friend? Because that's something that I had to choose. So I had to choose whether or not between petty or the elite aisle. Obviously, you want to choose the elite aisle on knowing how to set boundaries. And that's where I came in and setting boundaries and not putting too much on my plate or biting more than I can chew. How am I doing so far? Is this moving in a direction that you're now seeing more clearly that no longer are you going to be in the petty aisle? Yes. So there were days, don't get me wrong, there were days I doubted my decision. But the choice ultimately, guess what? Set the stage of my for my advancement in my career, and it taught me a powerful, oh man, I remember it as though it was yesterday. It's been some time though. It taught me a powerful lesson to embrace. Basically, the lesson it taught me is to basically focus. It's all about focusing on what, guess what, truly matters to you. Well, like, Ruth, I got bills to pay, or perhaps I have college tuition that I may need to stay focused on. So how do I break from that? How do I set the tone and really be assertive? That's what you do. You have to be more assertive. You have to know how to set limits to your day to day, because guess what? You can always go back and make more money, my friends. Yes. However, time you cannot get back. Ooh, this is good. This is so, so good. So recognize the petty aisle. How many of you all struggle on knowing when you are in the petty aisle? Like Dollar Tree said, hey, we have it for the general population. If you want the gain products, go up into the grand value aisle, right? So you kind of know, you would need to know how to recognize. First of all, you need to understand, yes, understand the signs of petty distractions. That is so good. And it could very well be petty distractions for you, but those that pull you into unnecessary conflicts, gossips, or trivial tasks that don't align, yes, that don't align with your career goals or your business goals. How many of y'all still following me with me so far? Let me know how I'm doing. I do want you to be able to know, embrace number two, embracing the elite aisle, which is something that I had to take a challenge. It was uncomfortable. It was uncomfortable. However, once you put into practice and you get into the drill of doing it on a day-to-day basis, you tend to identify opportunities that challenges you. Yes. And push you want to do opportunities that others may not be comfortable doing or don't have the desire to do, but it makes you stand apart because this is going to be in the elite aisle abilities. But it also can help you significantly with your personal brand, which is your personal growth. How many of you all may struggle or find it as a stagnant that your personal brand is not looking at its best at these days because you got too comfortable in the petty aisle? How many of y'all ready to graduate and start transforming to the aisle that you know to be true is your aisle and it has your name on it? Yes. And then finally, I want you to focus on this final focus area as far as different strategies to stay on track. Oh, this is so good because many of you all may have started with year resolutions. However, did it develop to staying consistent? So you want to be able to develop tactics to keep yourself, number one, focus on elite aisle. Even when the petty aisle seems to be so tempting or easier, yes, to fall back into, yes, at the moment or at the time. But I really want you to ask yourself and give yourself grace. Give yourself the opportunity to say enough is enough. So the five things that I want you to really hone into and really give yourself grace to say, well, what actions can I take? What's the ability, Ruth? What do I need to do now that's going to help me move away from the petty out? Well, what percentage of your day is spent on activities that genuinely contribute to your goals? Yes. Do you set reminders on your devices? Do you set prompts or, different reminders on your Outlook or depending on what apps that you use? I want you to be able to establish clear boundaries, yes, and learn to say no or delegate. Remove it off your plate altogether. It takes a right frame of mindset. Number two, how many of y'all can agree? How many of you all want to be able to shift how you've been customizing or accustomed to doing certain behaviors and patterns, and then today you want to say enough is enough. I do want to start moving forward to the elite aisle. Yes. So with that, I want you to be able to start taking action, and maybe, for example, for 1 week, keep a lot of your activities, like a log, like tracking, whether it be a schedule or whether it be some sort of notepad that you maybe manually want to write down what can be certain things that you want to keep track on. I challenge you to do that. Identify which ones fall into the petty aisle. Yes, let's be transparent here, and which align with the elite aisle. Start making deliberate choices to shift more of your time to the latter. Yes, the elite eye. How many of you all are ready to do that? However, you want to disrupt your current situation, then start with that main action that I just shared with you, and also set clear boundaries. So clear that it brings your esteem up. It start to put it into practice. You start leveraging your voice even more. So what I would propose you to do is, are there recurring distractions or demands that constantly pretty much derail your focus? You could be at work, and sometimes many of you are maybe working remotely or in the office, and you may not have a clear schedule to allow people to know when to come in and when to not come in, right? Although you want to be having an open door opportunity, but you want to be mindful for you, what's right for you. So, what I would challenge you to do is establish clear boundaries, learn to say no. Yes, and be able to contribute on who can you maybe delegate this to. Okay? Is this helpful? Let me know if this is something that you definitely want to be able to express and be more deliberate on doing. And finally, I would love to share with you all, how many of you all see that maybe seeking support networks? Supportive networks matter. Having a circle of resources that you can have at your right hand to help you, give you guidance, be a sounding board. Yes. Who in your network challenge you to rise above petty concerns? Let me know. And let yourself know, actually. And focus on bigger goals. Who are those folks? Who are those folks who think extreme and big and stretches their muscles to do above and beyond? And I would want you to challenge you to do this. I would love for you to cultivate relationships. If you say, well, Ruth, I don't have any of those folks in my circle that I deem to lean on or yield on besides my mom and my pops, or maybe someone outside of work, or maybe in your business, then I would definitely challenge you to do this. You want to cultivate with mentors, with coaches, with peers who embody the elite owl mindset. How many of you all would love to give yourself permission to go on LinkedIn and start connecting, elevate your network so you can elevate your net worth? Yes. And so to do that, you got to do regular check-ins with your peers, with your mentors. And then also it helps keep you accountable. Yes. With my private owned business and being able to be as a consultant and love the team that I collaborate with when it comes to our clients, and getting them to feel inspired, getting them to be empowered to know how they are as executives and as leaders, and also to be able to help perform their team in a very stellar and effective and productive way. I, I couldn't tell you even more. This is an area that I do hold on to, I hold dear to. And so I want to ask you these questions before we wrap up and leave here. Have you ever caught yourself walking down the petty aisle? Multiple times, and then maybe walking in there and you wasn't even aware of it. It was just kept zapping you like the taser, as I mentioned in the cops videos that we used to watch. What did it take? What steps did you take? What did it take you to make recognition to that, in other words? And how did you basically tackle it to get you to the elite aisle? And what are some elite challenges you're aiming to tackle in this point of your career path or your business goals that you're wanting to tackle in the near future? And are you doing this alone, or would you like someone side by side with you to give you that nudge, to set you up for accountability and set you up for success at the end of the day, for sure? If today's discussion, my friends, resonated with you and you're ready to commit to walking in the elite aisle, join us for our upcoming, yes, it's just going to be so, so good, Boost Your Brand Online event from LinkedIn, on LinkedIn. It's going to be, well, it's going to be on LinkedIn in terms of the invitations, and you get to, or I can send you somewhere here in the comments, the actual live event link registration. You do not want to miss it. It's going to blow your mind. It's going to get you to fully transform your branding. And we're going to discover the 5 pillars to accelerate your career or even in your business in less than 48 hours. I kid you not. I'll even share with you some of my hurdles and some of my roadblocks. Click the link somewhere in the comments, or just message me and I send it to you to learn more on the secure way to register. And let's navigate, yes, let's navigate these aisles together and elevate your career to new heights. Elevate your mind to new heights. Yes or yes? How many of you are ready to go ahead and say, I'm ready, Ruth. I'm ready to boost my brand. I appreciate everything that I heard so far today. In fact, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning into Breaking Boundaries. Remember, every day presents a choice. It does. Will you let petty distractions hold you back? Or will you rise to meet elite challenges? I think you would go with the latter part. I think so too. The path you choose, my friend, yes, will define your journey. So keep pushing. Yes, this is my promise to you. And this is my encouragement to you. Keep pushing, keep growing, and let's break boundaries together. All right, cheers. Thank you all for watching. Let's go ahead and have an amazing day. See you all next time.